Hello, hello, hello. This week we are going to talk all about refocusing the interior spaces to really meet our needs and work hard for us.
Yeah, nailing the interior layout because it's going to be new and different to what it is.
Hello.
Hi.
So, I feel like so far there's been loads of groundwork. We've been talking about like why we moved, and we've been talking about why we bought here and how much we're loving the area. We are loving the area, and we've been talking about the heritage of the area, which I absolutely loved, and I want to go into that even more. But today is the day where we get the hammers out.
Yeah.
Today's action, perhaps not enough action for my liking.
No,
I
but it
want to
was
see
nice.
brickwork and mud, but there was holes made,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited about that.
Only a few holes, but they are all over the entire house. They are basically sort of pilot holes, so we can explore what's behind the walls, because as part of the process of changing this building and putting our planning application in, we needed to engage a structural engineer, and they needed to see the makeup of the walls and where and if what we want to do is even possible.
Yeah, but before we get to the structural engineer, I felt like it would be a good moment, because we haven't talked about this, the internal layout of this building. But what do we want to do with it, and how do we want to live in it? And we haven't actually spoken about what's going to happen on each floor. And you know, we've kind of gone back and forth. We've had loads of discussions, and actually, the first day that we saw the place, we instantly had a reaction to what we wanted to do to the internal layout, and we knew that the plan for the internal layout was going to involve a lot of structural work. So hence the structural engineer needing to be involved and an architect needing to be involved. And we will talk all about that. But I think first and foremost, we need to tell you what the plan is. Perhaps quite appropriately for the episode where we smashed the first holes in the wall using a hammer, we've just had a tiff, a bit of a falling out, and we've had a dog walk to get some air and have a lovely coffee, because sometimes
Renovating is stressful.
very, so you know, real life, what are you going to do?
But anyway, we're here, and we're here to talk about what we're doing this week in the house, which is, as you can see from the holes behind us, maybe you can see them.
And we're friends again.
Yeah, we are friends again. Of course we are. So stupid. But it's the reality of renovating. It's quite stressful.
I think it's always because we have a completely different communication style and a completely different process.
Yeah, we do.
And our processes sometimes don't like each other.
If we have like an hour to do the same task, Russell will think about it for 59 minutes and then just do it in the last hour. Whereas I like to start minute one and then, you know, make sure we have enough time and space to do it.
I struggle to focus, so I have to cook. Something has to like, there has to be like a lot of cooking, and then there is like a golden moment where good stuff happens. But if I don't get to cook, it's just like lots of things.
Yeah.
Nothing's focused, everything's happening.
And I think each other's processes drive each other mad, which you'd think after 18 years or so of being together we would have sorted out. And actually we have on the large, on for most part we have. And then sometimes, like this morning, they implode. Because we've got so much to do.
By the end of this video, we will be friends. Which one are you in this?
Yeah.
What is your process like?
Anyway, you're here, we're here. Thank you for watching so far. It's been like a wild ride. We're loving it, and we're finding our way. So any feedback or advice that you may have, we would really appreciate. And yeah, as I've said, thank you for watching. Subscribe and like. So cheesy. But it's true. Right, let's talk about the layout.
We work a lot with like residential clients, but this is our home and we often disagree, which can be quite helpful when it's for someone else, but when you're fighting for something you want or the other person wants, we do sort of butt heads a lot, don't we?
You can have the dressing room, I'll have the kitchen.
Yeah, that's fine, that kind of works.
So, Geordie Clearance, what is the plan for the internal layout of this beautiful little gem?
Well, currently, just to recap what we've got 3 floors. The top floor has 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. The ground floor has a living room, dining room, kitchen, and like a utility space, and lots of stairs.
Cupboard, utility cupboard.
Cupboard, exactly. And then the basement is one bedroom, one large bedroom, and a bathroom, which was being used as a self-contained flat. So when we came to see it, we sort of both had instincts about what we wanted to do and what we wanted to change. And funnily enough, since we've been living in it, sometimes that changes, but actually we haven't, where we are now, which is upstairs, we haven't used upstairs at all, have we?
No.
We haven't been here, which was one of the biggest driving factors in making the change that we want to change, which is...
Well, to make this entire floor a living space, because it would be much more valuable for our lived experience to have a functional living space up here, somewhere that we can entertain, somewhere that we can read, listen to music, watch movies, which we
do a lot.
Yeah.
And in our previous home, we had 4 bedrooms, and one of which we turned into a dressing room, one of which we turned into a home office. We had a guest bedroom and we had our bedroom. But actually, we just lived between our bedroom and the dressing room. We didn't really use the home office, and we didn't really use the guest room that often, which has again sort of cemented the idea that here we don't need to have a dedicated guest room. When guests come to stay, this will be transformative in some way. But 360 days of the year, this is going to be our living space, which I'm really excited about.
And I have a cunning plan.
I don't agree with this plan.
How can you not agree with my cunning plan if you don't know what my cunning plan is?
Before we get to your plan, in order for us to make the changes, this loops back to the beginning when we talked about a structural engineer. In order for that to make sense, we realised pretty quickly that we need to move the stairs. Because currently when you walk into the front door... What?
Okay, this is like, you know, when you go to the supermarket with your partner and you've got a shopping list and they haven't got the shopping list.
We don't shop together for this reason.
And you're still in the vegetable section and they've already made it to the wine section and you're like, whoa!
Okay, back up then. Go
the
on.
stairs
You
is
go.
like, sorry.
No, go on, what?
I was just going to share my cunning plan.
Okay, go on, let's see your cunning plan. This might be the first time I'm hearing it.
He's not excited. Anyway, the cunning plan is, because I'm probably more concerned about this than you are, but in terms of resale, which isn't that important right now because we want to love this and live in it.
Sorry.
Stop. This is currently a 3-bed, obviously, and several friends have been like, you can't turn it into a 1-bed. That's not allowed. It's mad. You can't do that. So effectively, we're going to keep a bathroom up here because when there are guests, that's their bathroom dedicated. And essentially this floor is a bedroom. So it's like a second bedroom. So the living space is on the ground and this is a second bedroom. But for us, we're going to live in it as a living space and enjoy it as a living space.
That's the cunning plan? I mean,
That's the cunning plan.
I thought you had like some revelation to tell me, but yeah, that is the plan. So essentially, it'll be our living room, but then when we come to sell it, it could be a bedroom.
You like that?
I mean, I knew that. That's what we planned all along.
Yeah, but I was just sharing.
Yeah, okay. It's very cunning and it's a plan.
So how do we put this idea of a living space up here into action? What do we do?
Well, the first thing we've got to do is move the stairs.
Yes.
Because currently they are, when you come into the front door, they're straight ahead of you, which also I think in a feng shui kind of thing, that's not great for like energy flowing straight out of your front door.
It feels quite residential, I think,
Yeah,
having
yeah,
a kind of
standard
entrance
hallway.
hall, stairs, but in a way that for us doesn't help the sort of identity of this building, because we want to bring it back to being more of an industrial building, which it used to be.
When we first thought about moving the stairs, our first instinct was to put them across the windows at the front of the property, because that's quite exposed, it's sort of street facing, and very quickly that didn't work. And another thing about the stairs where they currently are is that we don't get to experience the full width of the house because the stairs take up like almost a third of it really. And it was really important for me to expose the full width of the house so we can really experience that. So what are we going to do, I hear you say? I mean, the biggest thing we're going to do is remove this chimney breast behind us, which actually, I don't know if you can see this, we've knocked a hole there to see, but that's a chimney breast and they've built some shelving around it. But the stairs are actually going to move to the back of the house.
We need to put structure in to hold the chimney in place while this chimney breast comes out, and that will gain us an extra bit of space, which is almost half the width of the stairs. So it's worth doing that, because otherwise we're bringing the stairs further into the building. And then obviously up here is stud walls, so those stud walls need to come out.
I want to take them out immediately.
They're going to
So
come out
desperate to
very
take them
soon.
out and get rid of these white, horrible egger box doors as quickly as we can.
Yeah, as soon as those stud walls are out, it will already feel bigger, won't it? But then once we have those stairs over there gone, that's going to give us all the more floor space to feel like a really nice open plan space. And then the other gorgeousness in this upper space is that not only are we going to have the stairs hidden away at the back, but this space has a pitched roof. Currently there's a ceiling in place, but we want to take that ceiling out, open it all up so it's a vaulted ceiling.
That we wanted to have that feeling of like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. Like, you know, opened up to the rafters, to the pitch, which would be really lovely.
It feels a bit like a treehouse.
Yeah.
There's something quite kind of
childlike.
childlike, naive. There's a moment of wonder. So what does the stair move mean for the ground floor?
So for the ground floor, what it means is, again, we get to open up the full width of the whole house, which is really lovely. It also means we get to hide the stairs. So there's essentially going to be a stud wall that runs the whole width of the house, which will hide the stairs that go up and down. We're going to be able to hide a WC, downstairs loo, which we did have in our previous house actually. We're going to be able to hide a small utility room, or sort of, it depends what you end up deciding it's going to be, whether it's like a larder, a utility room.
It's got a house washer dryer.
It has got a house of washer dryer.
There's no way around it.
Where they are currently is going to be a toilet, a WC. So
Yeah.
the washer dryer have got to go into the penny. Anyway, so behind this wall, which will just look like a wall, it's going to have two doors into it, one that will lead upstairs and one that will lead downstairs to the bedroom. And then in front of that wall will sit the kitchen essentially. And that whole floor will be kitchen.
So how does the stair move impact the basement?
So the main reason for the stair move, not the main reason, but kind of for me, is that in the basement, which is also, well, let's call it my dressing room with a bed in it.
His dressing room.
We needed enough floor to ceiling, double height hanging, and currently that is where the stairs are. But that means that can happen, that I'll have, well, not enough, but more hanging space for all of my clothes. And we're messing around with the idea of perhaps bringing the bed to the centre of the room, and maybe the headboard becomes like a partition wall slightly that could have a dressing table on the back of it, or it could be more storage.
Yeah.
A dressing table would be nice, because I did used to sit at that pink dressing table a lot, well, every day. Do my hair.
Do your hair, pluck your eyebrows. Yeah,
I don't pluck my
it's
eyebrows,
important.
pluck my nose hair.
But I'm just intrigued which part of that is actually structural.
Yeah, so basically our architect sent us a list of places that we needed to make holes. It was places where we suspected there might be a steel, but they weren't sure existing. So like in the hallway, for example, there's like some diagonal trunking that we thought perhaps may have had a steel, or it may have been like a wooden beam even, because the building's so old. So we had to make holes there to explore what it is. And it turns out it's kind of like an old railway, metal railway steel.
Yeah.
Like two on top of each other, which is quite unusual.
Old school recycling, I love it.
And now it just means that the structural engineer can put together the cleanest, simplest sort of combination of steels to do what we needed to do, whilst also being as invisible as possible and making sure that the building's safe.
So what do you think of the changes? What do you think of the stairs? Are you as gutted as I am that they're not going to be these amazing through stairs? It's fine, I've let go of it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you think. We'd love to hear if you have done similar things. Have you moved staircases? Are we insane? Is it going to cost us 10 times the amount we imagine it will? Yeah, and we hope you like the plans so far. We're going to share more as we go on, and we look forward to sharing.